Hey all, for this particular segment, I'm going to replace the rear cover. As you saw in one of my previous videos, I snapped one of the bolts. I can't remember which one, but one of the old pan bolts, so it's probably better to replace this anyway and hopefully get a fresh seal. So hopefully there's no leaking. But this is the the original cover that came with the engine. It's a 10 millimeter bolt pattern. Um, so I'll go ahead and take this off and show you the new one. The new one is a 13, and unfortunately I broke my 13 millimeter socket, so I'm having to use an impact socket, as you can see. Go ahead and take this guy off. As you can see, it's going to be an interesting process because I did have to take the engine off the stand, unfortunately, to get it in the air. Wow, these are actually kind of loose. It's interesting. Wow, these are very loose. I don't know if that can't be good. Some of them are tight and some of them are just completely loose. Well, this was either replaced or was definitely not torqued to spec, so. So I'm going to try to get this done as quick as possible because I don't like this thing dangling in midair like this. But once I do this, I'm going to put the flywheel on. Well, I'm going to clean up the crankshaft a little bit, since it's got a little bit of surface rust on it, and then I'll put the flywheel back on and get this thing back on the stand. Don't want to keep it airborne. I don't like it. Good news is at least it is being supported by the by the heads. That's where I have the hoist holding it. So at least I know the heads are on tight because it hasn't fallen yet. So. Again, this is a 10 millimeter. I know the replacement is a 13. Got it out. All right, it's off. Seal doesn't look that bad. I can't remember if there were leaks when I bought it or not. It didn't look like there was, but couldn't hurt to be safe and replace it anyway, you know. So. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if it goes. So it looks like this the seal actually opens up and spreads out and folds down. I was kind of looking at the other one and it folds down. It looks like as you tighten it. So I guess it's kind of fitted, if you will. You know, it kind of forms around once you tighten it down. So I'm hoping that's how it works. That's what it looks like, because you can kind of see it's starting to. It doesn't want to fit. It's too big or it's too small. So clearly, I mean, it is the right size, but I'm thinking that what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to conform to this particular to the actual back of the crankshaft here. So we'll see. Okay, so just to kind of show you, I think it does conform around it because I mean look at how tight that seal is. It's pretty tight. I really don't foresee any oil coming past that. Um, so I would say that it probably does conform to it in some ways. So um, you know, if you look at this one, it's kind of already been bent back. As you can kind of see, there's like a little lip on it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a little lip in between, kind of like right there. And that lip, it looks like it was probably the original seal. So when you do this, don't freak out and think that it's the seal is too small. I think it's just expanded, and then once you put it on the back of the crank like shaft like that, and then it kind of compresses and then fits to size as it kind of did here. So that's my take on it. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. But I think that's how it works, and I would just put some oil, as I kind of showed you, along the outside of the back of the crankshaft, so just kind of help it seat itself. And of course, you know, along with the oil pan install, I also put in some more RTV around the corners like it suggested. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to torque these guys down to 18 foot-pounds, and then I'm going to put the oil pan long bolts in. And again, I think those are 9 foot-pounds. I'll double check that. But remember, go easy on them. Otherwise, you'll be in the same situation as me and you'll snap one. So just be wary of that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the small oil pan, or the long oil pan bolts, which go from there all the way to here and contact the rear cover. It says they're 106 inch-pounds, I think, which is basically about 9 foot-pounds. I'm not going to torque those down because that's really light, and I'm just going to do them German tight. So hopefully that should be enough. I think it will be. I just don't want to snap them again and be in the same situation. But if you wanted the part number for the long oil pan bolts is it's this. It's 125-54990. So that's the part number for the long oil pan bolts. Alrighty, so for this next portion, I'm going to go ahead and install the flywheel. I'm going to clean the bolts up a little bit as I go along. But there, for the flywheel, it kind of says, you can kind of tell which side's the engine side and which side's the transmission side. This side's really dirty, so it's clearly the transmission side anyway. But If you're unsure, this side just says engine side. There's a little stamp right there. The other thing is to align it. You got this spare hole right here to kind of line it up. That goes and lines up with this hole right here. So you just need to line those two up. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy on. It says to use Loctite on these bolts. I'm going to break all the rules and actually not do that. I'm not a fan of Loctite. I mean, I'm sure you're probably supposed to use it, but you're putting so much torque on these. They're going to go up to 75 foot-pounds, just kind of like the head bolts. So I think with all the torque you're putting on them, I don't foresee it vibrating loose, but you never know. So we'll see what happens, but I'm just going to go ahead and wing it and not use Loctite. So do as I say, not as I do, and use Loctite. Alrighty, so these are 15 millimeter bolts. Unfortunately, I don't think I have an impact socket that's a 15, so hopefully I don't snap this socket too like I did the other one, but we'll see. Alright, so the flywheel is on. To do the torque sequence, what I did was I got one of these flywheel holding tools, and I think it was like 20 bucks off eBay. It wasn't too bad. So this will lock it in place while I do the torque sequence on this, and it'll also help when I do the damper up front. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the. I believe it goes in the starter, where the starter usually mounts. So I'm going to go ahead and put that here. Alright. Now with that guy in place, this engine should not rotate at all. I doubt it will, so I should be all set to do the torque sequence. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and torque this guy down. It shows the torque sequence as 15 foot-pounds first. I have it on 18. I think that's probably close enough. It's going to be done in 3 stages. The first is 15, the second is 37, and the final is 74. So according to the book, I'll go ahead and point. You probably won't be able to see the book, but it starts off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do it in that order. One, two, three, 4, Alright, let's go up to 37 foot-pounds. At about 38. So again, I'm starting with the topmost. That's going to be my 1. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Yeah. 6. I think the good part about this is at least I have the weight of the engine working against me, so I hopefully don't have to do it as hard. Let's see, now 74, so I'm going to go up to about 75-ish. Alright, there's 6. Alright, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That should conclude this lesson. Flywheel is on, it's torqued down. It's not going anywhere, at least I hope. I'm going to leave this lock on, so that way I can put on the damper on the front. But that's all for now. The rear should be done. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it back on the mount and get rid of this hoist. So, alright, thanks for watching.